Thank you so much for joining today's webinar. We are very excited to launch the only Open DXP and to help herald in the dawn of the new age of the Composable Enterprise. We have an action-packed agenda for you today. I will be kicking off here, introducing Acquia's Open DXP, our Composable Enterprise platform, and I'll be handing it over to my colleagues to introduce new innovations in our Drupal cloud and our marketing cloud, and then to my other colleagues to take you through action-packed demos. We'll close out with some important announcements and a Q&A, and for those of you that stay on, there will be a fun video at the very end. So without further ado, let me introduce myself and my two primary presenters. I'm Kevin Cochran. I'm the Senior Vice President of Product Marketing here at Acquia. And I'll be joined by my colleagues, Karen Wood and Ryan Picchini. Karen is the Senior Director for Product Marketing and Ryan the Senior Director for Drupal Cloud. Each of them will take you through all of the exciting innovations that we're launching here today. We'll also be joined by our two other colleagues, Zach Wenthe and Ron Northcutt, who will take you through our Drupal Cloud and Marketing Cloud demos. So first and foremost, would love to introduce you into what we here at Acquia have been pioneering over the course of the past year in order to help you all accelerate digital transformation. When we think about digital transformation, it is clear to all of us that we need to invest in a new digital first architecture, microservices based, API based, cloud native, headless and head optional. And when we look at how we need to architect for the future to help you put in place a new architecture that will last you for the next 10 years to help you move faster and make smarter decisions, what we look at is what are the truisms that we need to build and think through now so that we can help you plan for the future. What was the core issue 10 years ago? What is that core issue today? And what will that core issue continue to be 10 years from now? It is imperative that we here at Acquia help you build for the future. And that means by putting in place the platform now that will help you scale and grow your digital business as needs continue to evolve and markets continue to change. So we know that there are four primary truisms. What we knew 10 years ago, what we know now, what we know is going to still be your central challenge 10 years from now is you will always have more content. Customers will always need more content delivered on more channels. And you will always need new capabilities in order to help democratize content creation, to make it easy for business users across your organization to scale publishing processes, to distribute that content to all customer touch points, and to reuse those content and make it engaging, personalized, and targeted for each and every individualized need. We also know that you're always going to have new applications that you need to build. 10 years ago, today, 10 years from now, the need for new business services that you can deliver to your customers online will never cease to change. We need to make it easy for your developers to build new innovative applications and to automate the provisioning of new services with maximum security, scalability, performance, and availability. It was true 10 years ago. It will be true 10 years today from now. And it's very important that our platform gives you the capabilities that you need to ever meet the changing demands for your development organization. And of course, over the past 10 years, we've been making the shift to being a data-driven enterprise. And what we know is that you will always have an ever-increasing amount of data. Your digital experiences will be 100% data-driven. Every single employee experience, every single customer experience will be powered by deep insights that enable you to deliver the services and the content and the experiences your employees and customers alike need in order to get their jobs done. So from an Acquia perspective, architecting for a future of ever-increasing amounts of data and ever-increasing amounts of insights that you need to deliver the business is critical. And of course, as we move to a fully digital life and a fully digital enterprise, what we also know is risks will only continue to accelerate. Managing security, managing compliance, managing brand and legal and corporate risk are ultimately paramount. Security can no longer be an afterthought. Security must be in the core of business operations, of every new application, of every new experience. Everything must be trusted by design. And so what we have seen here at Acquia is customers have had a false choice. There's always the traditional enterprise software stacks that you can look to architect on for the future. These traditional software stacks, unfortunately, don't provide the customizability and the innovation pipeline that's necessary for you to continue to move at great velocity. Simply put, traditional software stacks left us stuck when we moved to a fully digital life when the pandemic hit. There's always new and exciting emerging technologies that you seek to leverage for new initiatives. They give you the innovation, but the security, the customizability, the feature richness, and the scalability only puts your business at risk if this is your only core strategy. And of course, many of you have attempted to build your own stack, a new microservices stack. Unfortunately, while that powers innovation and gives you maximum customizability, the ability to scale that and manage costs and deliver the great security consumes a lot of resources and ultimately can leave you behind. We believe that there's a new approach that's needed, an Acquia only approach, a new composable stack that gives you the best of all worlds, that gives you the feature richness, the scalability, the security at the core, the maximum customizability so you can power innovation and lead the pack. This is the Acquia Open DXP. This is the Composable Enterprise. Simply put, the Composable Enterprise enables you to build core reusable components so that every developer, every business user could rapidly compose new digital experiences and applications with low-code, no-code tools. It's all based on a composable architecture with composable content, designs, business capabilities, and stacks that you can replicate at scale around the globe. It's all about composable engagement, so you can rapidly stitch together data into composable journeys with composable insights powered by composable machine learning models. And again, where you can blueprint all of your digital experiences, all of your digital sites, and rapidly scale them with great security and governance around the globe. Let's take a deeper look into the composability at the core of Drupal Cloud. At the core of Drupal Cloud is our composable architecture. Drupal 9, from day one, was always designed and architected around a notion of composability. From structured data to layout and display to low-code, no-code configuration in an API-first architecture, Drupal from day one was always built on the notion of empowering developers to rapidly build and encapsulate and deploy and reuse core components that can be delivered to the business. It's all about having composable content so you can author once, reuse anywhere. Each and every individual content element, each and every individual content model, the core components used to display the content in different devices and different experiences. And of course, the organization of that content in a taxonomy so things can be easily searched, easily discovered, and of course, rich media so you can power the most delightful, engaging experiences on the planet. And new and Acquia only with our Site Studio product, composable designs so that as a brand, you can have a master style guide with core reusable design elements and UI components and templates so that you can have standardized brand governance for each and every single customer touchpoint or employee touchpoint. And also leveraging the power of the 10,000 plus contributors to the Drupal open source community, the largest open source community in the planet, with over 45,000 pre-built modules, the ability to build packaged business applications that can be exposed to business users to rapidly enhance or build new experiences. Core business capabilities that developers can build once and share with the community and reuse and harness and tap into an entire crowdsourced ecosystem of the best business capabilities anywhere to be found around the globe. And of course, from a governance perspective, for central IT, to be able to build composable stacks, to take pre-built applications, pre-built site templates, and to be able to replicate them at scale around the globe, managing security, managing governance, managing application performance and availability. Drupal Cloud at the core is all about a composable architecture, from the stacks to the content, to the designs and to the business capabilities. It fundamentally reimagines a digital-first architecture, and we couldn't be more excited to share that with you here today. But wait, there is more. With Marketing Cloud, we've gone one step further and realized that it's not just the experience, but how you engage customers with the experience, how you can have composability of personalization to distribute core marketing tasks to enable each and every business user to target and individualize the experience for each and every single customer. It's all about driving intelligence in the customer engagement and making sure that the website experience is bar none the best that you can possibly deliver. It's all about composable data. We need to democratize access to the data so each and every individual user can access each and every individual customer profile and deeply understand how best to target an experience to help them on their journey. And of course, at the core of data is having respect for your customers, specifically respect for their privacy, so that you are only using their data for their individual benefit, and so that you are building trust in each and every customer experience you deliver. And of course, every customer is unique. There is no normal. Each of your customers is on their own journey, trying to find answers to questions in order to achieve a personal outcome. At the core of Marketing Cloud is also composability of each and every individual customer journey, journeys that are based on intelligence, so that leveraging machine learning, you can orchestrate each and every customer's unique experience to harmonize their interactions across every single touch point in your organization and continuously optimize that journey so that they can get what they need quicker, faster, and easier each time they interact with you. And of course, as I've already mentioned, it's all about the composability of new machine learning models. We all want to individualize at scale for each and every unique customer. But unfortunately, we have a problem as human beings, which is we simply don't have the capacity to hire enough people quickly enough in order to manage each and every individual customer interaction. This is the power of machine learning. This is the power of composability machine learning models, enabling each and every one of you in the organization to rapidly assemble the models that you need to best understand and deliver continuously optimized journeys, continuously optimized engagement for each and every unique customer without having to hire millions of people to do that same exact task. And just like with composable stacks, as a marketing organization with distributed teams all around the globe, how could you rapidly compose pre-built campaigns, pre-built engagement models, and rapidly scale them around the globe to enforce brand governance in each and every single marketing campaign, in each and every single customer touch point? Composability is at the core of our Marketing Cloud. It is at the core of our Drupal Cloud. And composability is the name of the game in a new digital first era to help you deal with ever increasing amounts of content, data, applications, and risk. This is the promise of Acquia Open DXP. It is architected for the future. It's an architecture that helps you accelerate today and will help you accelerate over the course of the next 10 years. And we couldn't be more excited to share all of the new innovations that we're delivering here today in Drupal Cloud and Marketing Cloud. Experience digital freedom. And now let's take a look at some of the innovations that we're unleashing today to help empower the composable enterprise. But first, I'd like to take a poll. So Ava, let's take our first poll here today. So for those of you online, this is our first of two polls. And once we have enough people answering, we will let you know the results. So we'll give you all 30 seconds. So everyone, please take a look. Okay, lots of people answering. I think we have a statistically meaningful data set. Okay. So the first poll result, the question is, what is Site Studio? 80% of you said all of the above. Is Site Studio a low-code tool with a visual interface designed for non-technical users? Yes. Is it a visual page building tool that has real-time preview capabilities? Yes. Is it a component-based system that allows developers to quickly add new features as a site that can be reused? Yes. Ding, ding, ding. You all did a great job on that. Thank you so much. And now let's learn more about the Drupal Cloud and all of our exciting innovations with Ryan Pacchini. Ryan, over to you.
Thank you, Kevin. And thank you everyone for joining us today. As we think about the Composable Enterprise and how the Open DXP enables that, Drupal Cloud, as Kevin mentioned, has been on this track for years and enhancing the capabilities that go into it. Specifically with Site Studio and some other great innovation is what I'm going to share with you today. So moving on to the next slide. The first thing is, which Kevin also kind of touched on, is this idea through the poll that Site Studio is really designed, and we are thinking about all the personas and people who go into creating great digital experiences. And historically, at Acquia, we've kind of thought about them, but just in a fashion where they were kind of had their own track. So Cloud IDEs, tool specifically for developers, our cloud platform for IT managers to run those digital experiences that you assemble and compose, in Site Studio, which empowers marketers and designers to use and reuse the components that have been built by developers. And now we're bringing them all together into one unified offering, which is called the Aqua Experience Platform. And one of the innovations that's going into the Aqua Experience Platform that's new is Aqua CMS, and it's designed to be an accelerator across all of the different teams and all the different disciplines that go into creating these great digital experiences. So it's, and just formally introducing Aqua CMS, it's the only CMS that's going to provide the unmatched flexibility, ease of use, and security in one consolidated solution. And for those of you who are familiar with Drupal and Acquia, this is an out-of-the-box, fully functional distribution of Drupal that's curated and maintained by Acquia. This isn't necessarily designed to replace, let's say, a Drupal 8 or Drupal 9 site that's running, but it's meant to be an alternative for any new site that you're going to launch that's built with Drupal. Why? Because it's taking a lot of the work that you would need to do, and we are doing it for you with a set of pre-selected modules. We've evaluated Drupal core and the 45,000 modules within the community, and we've said these are the modules that are most widely used, that are driving results for our customers. The second is we have capabilities within Aqua CMS that don't exist anywhere within the community. So Site Studio, which we'll talk about in more detail, is included in the out-of-the-box CMS version of an Aqua CMS. So that is an advanced capability that you can't find anywhere else. All the performance and security is going to be updated and maintained by Acquia. So for our customers who are focused on that with their own distributions that they're currently running today, you'll be able to offload this work if you decide to adopt Acquia CMS for your next site or the next iteration of your existing site. And then there are pre-built integrations into our Open DXP. Most of our customers who have adopted Drupal and Acquia as their platform have plans to evolve, to do personalization, to use data to inform that content, to automate some of the engagement through the composable offerings that we have that Kevin talked about. And through Aqua CMS, it's very easy to make that transition, moving from just a content-driven experience into a true digital experience driven by data and that's personalized for your customers. So in using Aqua CMS, You're going to get faster time to value when launching a new Drupal site. It's an accelerator. It's a more efficient delivery model and way to run Drupal, and you can quickly advance to cutting edge customer experience tactics and technologies that quickly integrate. Moving on to the next slide, Kevin. Many of you are familiar with Site Studio, and this is available for a Drupal distribution that's not that's kind of independent of Aqua CMS. It's also included within Aqua CMS. So depending on how you decide to architect your next Drupal application, Site Studio should be a part of the equation because of the value that it drives. It is the only low-code tool for organizations to build with Drupal that's going to empower anyone within your organization to contribute. The new capabilities that we are launching today are a UI kit with over 70 pre-built components. So you don't have to go through and build all the components, whether it's a header, a footer, a carousel, maybe it's a maps component. We've built out kind of the common components in our UI kit for you to use as an accelerator. The second is a visual page builder. And this is really going to enhance your current experience and allow you to extend who can build and update pages. It's all in line. It's when you make changes, you can preview them in real time. You don't need to go back and forth between the page builder and the front end experience. So it's really going to be a unique, differentiated experience from anything like Layout Builder or other tools that you might be using. The key benefits: site builders can start building sites using pre-built components. Marketers and non-technical users are going to have a really slick UI and experience to create pages faster than ever before. And then what we continue to hear from our customers is that there's a desire to have IT and marketing and the business collaborate more effectively. And so this is in no way is Site Studio taking the power away from IT. It's just kind of reshifting the work, allowing IT and developers to focus on innovation, creating new features, new capabilities and integrations. And the work that you've already done, you're allowing non-technical users to reuse that and get their hands in the tool. Next slide, please, Kevin. For many of our customers, in addition to thinking about how they run their digital experiences and optimize them more effectively, they're thinking about how to transition to Drupal 9. Many of our customers are on Drupal 7, and they're looking for a way to do that more, and they're looking for a way to transition more effectively. And we also have customers who may be on other technologies. They may have some Acquia and Drupal, they may have some WordPress or another technology. Acquia Migrate is going to help you transition all of your sites to Drupal 9 faster than ever before. And so we've created a layer of IP that automates that process and makes it much simpler and faster for you to get to Drupal 9, which is where all the innovation is taking place within the community. And finally, in addition to getting to Drupal 9 and having a more efficient way to compose and build digital experiences, the underlying platform that powers and runs these experiences is Acquia Cloud Platform. We today are introducing Acquia Cloud Next, and we do have a few sites that are running on it today. It is the only Kubernetes native cloud for Drupal applications, and the net result and benefit for our customers in using Acquia Cloud Next is going to be improved application performance. You're going to be able to deploy code faster. The security and resiliency of your applications is going to improve, and it's going to be a more efficient way to run your sites and digital experiences on a whole. So with that, hopefully you had a chance to see how all of our innovation within Drupal Cloud is rolling up to this concept of the Composable Enterprise and allowing you to package and create digital experiences and kind of change direction as your customers' needs evolve, all with an eye on efficiency and helping you drive revenue as a result of creating those experiences. So with that, Kevin, I'll pass it back to you. And I think we're moving on to the latest product innovations within Marketing Cloud that are enabling the Composable Enterprise.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Brian. And before we go into the exciting innovations, in Marketing Cloud. Let's take our second poll. So Ava, our second poll, please. So the question for all of you now is, what's your timeline for implementing a first-party data strategy? As you all know, we're moving to a cookieless world, with everyone abandoning a third-party cookie, which we couldn't be more excited about here at Acquia, because consumer consent, privacy, and respect is really core to a trusted brand experience. So we'll give you all, 20 more seconds to get in your answers. We're almost at a statistically meaningful number. All right, Ava, I think we're good to close the poll and share the results. So let's see, first party data strategy, 0 to 6 months, 18% of you. Wow, that's moving fast. That's great news to hear. 6 to 12 months, 27%. 1 to 2 years, 18%, and 36% still unknown. So hopefully we can shed some light in the next section to really help you understand what's really critical about a first-party data strategy and how you need to have a composable marketing cloud to deliver that. So with that, I'd like to introduce our second speaker here today. Karen, over to you.
Thank you, Kevin. My pleasure. So yeah, I'm here to talk about some of the really exciting enhancements we have for Acquia Marketing Cloud, Acquia's Composable Marketing Cloud. So if you go to the next slide, I'll talk through some of them. And the first one is super exciting. It's all about delivering value to your company through insights that all teams can access, all teams can understand in order to drive revenue for your company. And it's also built on the spirit of a holistic, integrated Acquia Marketing Cloud. As you know, we've spent the last year and a half integrating all of the solutions that go into Acquia Marketing Cloud, including Acquia Customer Data Platform, Acquia Personalization, Acquia Campaign Studio, Campaign Factory, really integrating these solutions to provide a multi-channel marketing hub that is best of breed and a leader in the industry. So with that, we've actually unveiled with this launch new analytical capabilities that are integrated across Acquia CDP and Acquia Personalization. So our analytics capabilities are built on a foundation of that unified data and of course built to provide really important insights for the company. One of the things that makes our analytics and our approach to analytics unique within the industry is the fact that we do make it easy for lots of different teams to get their hands on the data and understand what the data is trying to tell them so that they can drive, that can drive better informed insights and better decisions in terms of what campaigns you want to run and so forth. So for example, we give marketers, we give data scientists, we give analysts, customer service, all different teams access to data and the insights that they need. So with that, we include machine learning driven insights. So who among your customers is likely to purchase? Who among your customers is likely to convert? What stage are they within the funnel? Being able to do that kind of analysis, which typically might be limited to a centralized team that has access to that data, we've unveiled that and given that to everybody. And also with that, we give analysts and technical teams abilities to do direct queries into the data. So using our interactive queries, they actually can use a query editor built into our platform to analyze and toggle back and forth between reporting and get the ad hoc insights that they need. In addition, we provide cohort analysis, which is kind of unique within the customer data platform and marketing cloud space, to be able to understand customers at the segment level instead of at the campaign level. So looking at customers across different campaigns and understanding their behaviors over time as they evolve and change. So a good example of that is maybe if you're a retailer and you have shoppers who come and purchase at the holidays, what do those customers, that cohort who was a first-time shopper at the holiday, what do they later do for Mother's Day or in the summertime or just throughout the year? So you can measure and track and really see the long-term lifetime value of the customer that makes a really big impact on your business. Another core capability of our analytics that's built into this unified analytics that we're unveiling is Snowflake data sharing. And what that gives you the ability to do is actually take your unified data and share it with your own instance of Snowflake, therefore giving analysts and technical teams the ability to understand and analyze data on their own terms using their own BI tools. So whatever tools those may be. They can even take unified CDP data that's, again, unified within Acquia Marketing Cloud, including Acquia personalization, and compare that with other data sets like merchandising data or other data that may not live within the CDP, but they need to analyze that data together. So again, that's a best of breed analytical capability that until now has only been available within our customer data platform. We're now including that with our integrated analytics, our unified analytics with Acquia personalization. So we're super, super excited about that. Additionally, if you go to the next, machine learning models. So I mentioned earlier that machine learning is part of what gives these great analytical insights. So, you can actually look at your customers and understand them in ways that are intelligible and easy to action off of. So looking at, likelihood to do this or clustering customers together in behaviors that they have in common or in products or categories that they might be likely to purchase, grouping them together. So until now, a customer could only belong to one cluster at a time. And that's pretty common across the board within machine learning that's part of a marketing cloud is really just having that customer be part of one cluster. With fuzzy clustering, really the world opens up and an individual customer can be part of multiple segments, which is really, kind of how people are. They will belong to more than one segment. So you might have a customer who's in a certain behavioral cluster, but then they're also going to be in a seasonal cluster as well. Well, you want that individual to be in both of those. And the benefit of being able to do fuzzy clustering like that is the size of your audience that you can pull using machine learning is broader and bigger, and it's also more accurate. Underpinning it all, machine learning's power is the fact that it can increase the accuracy of the segments that you pull, of the analytics and intelligence that you get from the data, and then improve the ROI from your campaigns because of that accuracy. In order to pull, really advanced segmentation that clusters would drive, you definitely, as Kevin mentioned earlier, you need machine learning to do that. A human just isn't capable of being able to do that kind of advanced segmentation. So we're super excited about fuzzy clustering. Zach Wenthe here will give you a demo, a sneak peek into fuzzy clustering in just a little bit here, but we're really excited about it. Our CDP customers are super, super excited about it too. Go to the next capability. Yeah, so another thing that we're unveiling as part of Acquia Marketing Cloud is campaign performance reporting. And if you recall, earlier or late last year, we unveiled cohort performance reporting, which is basically using that cohort analysis capability to do reporting on campaigns at the cohort level. Again, pretty cool because we can track and measure people, again, from the segment that they belong to, not the campaign, not just the campaign that they belong to. This actually opens this up and shows the performance of campaigns to everybody without cohort performance. So it's an additional campaign performance reporting on top of what we already had. And basically what this does is any campaign that's driven from CDP data, whether that's an email campaign or a Facebook campaign, whatever the campaign is, you can actually track it back within the CDP and understand the ROI of that campaign, again, if it leveraged CDP data. Previously, this would have, you would have needed to go into, your email tool or into Facebook, et cetera, to really kind of do that last bit of analysis. Now that's all integrated at the CDP level, so you can see the true impact of what those campaigns are delivering in terms of revenue for your business. And then I think we have one more. If you go to the next slide. So we do have additional capabilities for our privacy compliance within our CDP. As you know, we have a privacy API within our CDP that enables brands to comply with the right to be forgotten. So if a consumer requests to a brand to delete all of their customer data, our privacy API makes that easy to do and available. And in fact, with a customer data platform, it's very easy for a business to go in if a customer wants to be deleted and actually get a map of where that customer data lives across all of the different tools, across the technology ecosystem, so that they can be sure to delete that record everywhere it lives, to, again, comply with that and honor that request from the customer. With this new enhancement that we have on top of that, we're just making it a whole lot easier to perform that deletion. So not only can you go into use the privacy API, go into our customer 360 profile, get that map of where data lives, but you actually can go ahead and just easily delete it. So it's increasing the efficiency of honoring privacy requests and deletion requests in particular. So again, we're super excited about that additional self-service that we're providing to brands to honor those requests. And so, yeah, so a lot of exciting stuff happening in the world of Marketing Cloud. We're really thrilled to, about all the capabilities, but as I said, Zach will show you a sneak peek. And we also have Ron Northcutt here to give a sneak peek into the demo. Kevin, I don't know if you want to intro our two demoers before we get into that.
Yes, I do. Thank you so much, Karen, and thank you so much, Ryan. I just want to do a quick recap. We make it faster than ever to unleash the power of Drupal 9. We make it faster than ever to deploy a best-in-class digital experience with Aqua CMS. We make it faster than ever for you to enhance and extend that experience with the only low-code, no-code tool on the planet with Site Studio. And of course, we make it faster than ever for you to scale and govern digital experiences around the globe with our next generation Acquia cloud platform. And Karen, it's just amazing because now with all of the enhancements in Marketing Cloud, we make you smarter than ever with unified analytics. We make you smarter than ever with integrated campaign reporting. We make you smarter than ever with new machine learning models. And of course, we help make it smarter than ever for your customers to trust your brand because you're actually able to respect their privacy. How amazing is that? Actually, it's even more amazing because now we're going to be joined by Ron Northcutt and Zach Wenthe, because they're actually going to show you some of our new innovations in action. So let me stop my screen sharing right now, and I'll turn it over to our two fine colleagues to take you through some exciting new demos. Ron, over to you.
Thanks, Kevin. So what I'm going to be taking a look at today is we'll be looking at the new page builder and the tools in Site Studio with the UI kit. And this is all wrapped up inside of Aqua CMS. In fact, what we're seeing here today is actually Aqua CMS. I spun this up fresh this morning. So this is a release candidate, and it's got the latest Site Studio, which was released yesterday, 6.5. And it's also got the latest page builder UI kit as well. So let's go ahead and start a new page. Now, for those of you who probably have seen either maybe you're using or you've actually seen Site Studio in action, this is all going to look somewhat familiar, but let's go through and create a new test page here. Now, one of the great things that we have been hearing and we've delivered on is a lot of customers, when they have the capability of creating all of these components inside of Site Studio, it's great, but it can be a bit overwhelming. So what the Site Studio team has done is they've actually gone through, they've been working with the pre-sales team and demo team, they've been working with different customers, and they've actually created a whole list of preset components that not only build on what we had before, but offer new bits of capability. So for example, you can see here, we can actually control layouts and drop things into place. We can also go through and have not only more complex components that we would expect, like accordions and tabs, but we also have very specific discrete components, headings and descriptions. And we're going to see how all of those come together. Now, in the interest of time, rather than going through and doing the fun bits one at a time, I'm actually going to take advantage of some of the helpers that are baked right into the UI kit as well. So you can see this is everything from different pre-built sections of a page, already packaged with all of those individual elements. But in this case, I'm actually just going to go in and take one of the page examples. Now, the great thing about helpers, of course, is that it's actually going to build everything out for me from a preset list. It's kind of like a template or a blueprint. So we're going to go ahead and save this. and it's just going to have the default content for now. But all of this so far should be pretty familiar, except for the UI kit, which is actually out on Cohesion Docs right now. So you can actually go and download it if you like. Now that we've created this, you can see just from the helper, I was able to drop onto the page. Pretty direct, pretty simple. It's building this all out for me. And by the way, I'm running this in my cloud IDE. So I'm not even running this on my local. It's in the cloud. It's where I do my development these days. And you can see we've got a full page here, but we do have all of this placeholder content. So let's go and make a few changes here and kind of get us look at what those individual components look like and some of the advanced features that are kind of hiding underneath. Now, at this point, I could go ahead and edit and go back in the edit screen like you saw before. It's a perfectly fine way of managing this content, but let's use a new page builder instead. This allows us to manage and create this content actually inside the view as we see it, which is a lot more convenient, especially for your team that doesn't have, that's not maybe developer focused. So now that I've got the page builder turned on, you can see I've got all of these different pieces, and I can now start digging into any one of these. So you can see, for example, that these are packaged together. So I can actually easily move these around. There we go. And I can also, there we go. There we go, this is great. The system also takes care of a lot of the resizing for me. So if we go down here, you'll notice that I've got one tall item here. However, if I take one of these other items and pull it over into the same area, there we go. Sorry, my Zoom is causing my system to go slow. Here we go. You can see it actually resizes the other item for me, which is pretty handy. Now, behind all of this, we have these more powerful components, and it's not just about the components themselves. It's about the thought and the work that's been put into making them more useful, more friendly, more configurable. So, for example, you can see here, this is pretty straightforward as far as a title goes. This is some really fun stuff. Nothing too crazy here. We've got the call out. I can change to a dark or a light. These are some nice presets. But then we start getting into some of the more advanced features. So for example, if I go in and I change the background image, and we'll choose something else here. This is good. I also have the ability to go in and change the text color if I so choose, for the heading or for the text itself. The other thing you can see here is that as this goes in place, it's updated real time. This is nice and friendly. When we go down and look at some of these other components, so for example, if we look at one of these layout components, you can see that there's been a lot of thought that's been given here also to how we can control these across different breakpoints and how we can control how things work when we put them in. So this is a lot of stuff here, but actually it's not that complex. You can see we've got some settings on how we want some padding, and then we've got some settings on the column sizes and how these are going to flow. And you can easily break these down to the different breakpoints for a tablet or to a phone. So you can actually have a ton of creative control, and you don't have to go through and create these components and do all of this work yourself. You can actually get these straight from the UI kit today, and these are all available for you to take, including things like using different colors. You can see we can do an alternate image for a phone. And of course, as you all well know, Site Studio is incredibly flexible and powerful. So that's just the starting point. You can go in, take the UI kit, modify it, extend it, do all the things you need to do for your business. And then at the end of the day, you get to take all these toys and go have some fun. So with that, I'll stop here. There's plenty more to see, but you can always request a demo and we can dig into some of the details if you like.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Ron. And, you know, it really does look like almost Christmas here with lots of toys. And we encourage everyone to experiment with Site Studio and most importantly, have a play, innovate, experience digital freedom, have a play. So Ron, once again, thank you so much. And now let's turn it over to our fine colleague, Zach Wenthe, who'll take us through some exciting innovations in Marketing Cloud. Zach, over to you.
Thank you, Kevin. Yeah, and as Karen mentioned earlier, we've always been a leader in the machine learning space when it comes to our CDP, and we're just adding on to that with new enhancements. So earlier this year, we actually released a series of models. So if we're looking at this as I'm in the CDP now, and we're looking at our friend Katie Cartwright. She's a customer. She's obviously looks like a very high value customer, but we can see in her profile that there's a series of models. So we have multiple frameworks and families of machine learning models, and these are all customizable down to our individual customers. We work with you to determine what is actually important to you. So these are not black box machine learning models. They're independently built frameworks to easily spin up new models, but without having to have an entire data science team, necessary to build any of these. So likelihood to engage, likelihood to convert. We've added some new propensity models around likely to pay full price, as well as our new predictive models on send time optimization. So picking the optimal send times across varying touch points, a total send time, a weekday, a weekend, and then predictive values around lifetime value, the total revenue group, and even next best channel. All those get matched together with our product recommendations to create a well-rounded platform. And as Karen said, up until now, we had clustering models for a variety of different segments. So you could have a behavioral cluster, you could have a product cluster, you could have a seasonality cluster, all of those tied together. But now we actually have the ability to have non-exclusive clusters. So how does that work, and what would we do with that? Well, let's switch over and look at this from a product perspective, or from a campaign activation perspective. So I'm going to create an audience to use, and this could be pushed out to an email channel. This could go to digital advertising. This audience can be used in any of your marketing activities, even offline, direct to mail. So I'm going to create a non-exclusive cluster, and I'm going to do that based on my caffeine habits. So during the week, and in the past when I would travel for work, I would go in and I would buy a coffee at a store, at a location very differently during the week. So I might be a kind of a business savvy buyer most of the time. But on the weekends, I have a very different behavior. I actually work, I have a family, and so I might not just buy a drink for myself, but I'm buying, some breakfast for my kids, some other pieces, but I still need my caffeine. So again, I'm still a buyer, and there's really overlapping value between those two audiences. So my weekend warrior behavior is slightly different, but they're equally valuable. So I want to go ahead and take those, but I want to refine this. We can actually adjust this even by the strength of the machine learning segment that you're in. So my most likely cluster, I'm going to go ahead and add the probability into that. So I want to go with anybody who is greater than, and this is, it's decimal based. So I'm going to go greater than 65% strength into that business savvy. So I'm primarily a business savvy, cluster as my primary. But now I'm going to say somebody who's also occasionally a weekend warrior. So we're going to use the secondary one, and you can see we can have a third layer, so we can actually have more than so we can have a most likely, a second most likely, a third most likely, and all these can be layered together to create very refined audiences as part of the overall grouping. So again, I want to take somebody who's a little higher than at least somewhat in the weekend warrior, and I'm going to use this to do some targeting. So maybe it's going to be buy a drink. It's going to be buy a drink on Monday through Friday and get a coupon to come back over the weekend. So you're driving that repeat buying behavior. So I can take that entire audience and I can ultimately determine what attributes are necessary to push that out from an activation perspective. So if I am going to drive this out and I want to do some personalized email, I might send email, first name, last name. I can add any other attribute to my export, and this could be being pushed out to, like I said, to an email system. I could go out to digital advertising and go out to a personalization tool to drive personalized behavior on a website. So all this information is available. And then I'm also going to package up all of the content necessary. So I'm going to package that machine learning cluster. I'm going to package in my second cluster and the probability, and also the send time. So I'm going to be able to use all of this information, even though I'm not targeting based on send time. I'm going to send this so that I can use this information in my email to actually deliver that email at the most appropriate time, so that I get an overall lift in my campaign by hitting somebody when they're most likely to open. I know I get up in the morning. I have kids, and I'm trying to scroll through my emails really quickly. Ron likes to work late at night, so Ron actually gets up, and he powers through all his emails later in the evening. So we're going to have very different open rates. And if an email lands in his inbox at 9 a.m., it could get varied by the end of the day. So being able to drop messaging in email at the most appropriate time ultimately allows marketers to have full control. And as Kevin said at the very beginning, the one-to-one personalization and the one-to-one preferences, so that we're using data for what matters to our end customers. So all that gets packaged up, I send that out, and now as a result of the additional campaign activities, I can track these campaign results into my dashboards, and ultimately all of that information, all of the stuff will flow back into my to my profile, my individuals. We'll be able to see any transaction history that'll happen, any journeys, and all of that then is a cyclical process where it feeds future machine learning models. We do over 1.5 billion machine learning calculations every day that are actionable, so you as a marketer can leverage these. So with that, Kevin, I am done, and I will hand this back over to you.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Zach. And let me just pull back up our presentation here today. Let's just share. Okay. So Zach, amazing stuff. As Karen shared, really democratizing access to data and helping people really understand to the best extent possible each and every unique customer with the power of our new fuzzy clustering and with the power of our CDP, the ability to compose the right audience, to compose the right engagement is now an Acquia first capability for digital marketers and really any line of business user. So couldn't be more excited with the demonstration that you shared. And now we'd like to open up to some Q&A for the next 5 minutes before we introduce our last innovation in our customer community and our closing video. So do we have any questions here in the chat today?
There were some questions, Kevin, but I think they've been answered.
Okay, well, if there's no further questions in the Q&A, very excited, finally, our last announcement to introduce to you our new Aquia Aquarium. As you heard from Ryan, Karen, Zach, and Ron, all of the innovation that you've seen is the direct result of partnering with all of you, our customers. The innovation in Aquia Migrate, all designed based on learning what holds you back from migrating to Drupal 9 and taking all the pain away. All of the new components in the UI toolkit, looking at all of our global deployments to find out what it is that you most need from pre-built components that are available in Aqua CMS and now available in Site Studio. Working with all of you to understand what you're really trying to accomplish post-pandemic to really drive personalization and individualization at scale, and working hand in glove to build new machine learning models for each and every unique customer, and then understanding how to make those globally available to all of our customer community. At the end of the day, we crowdsource innovation from each and every one of you. There is nothing that we do in Acquia that isn't fully vetted, fully approved, and fully driven by each and every unique customer that we love to support. And now we want to be able to support you even better and support you at scale. This is the new Aquia Aquarium, a one-stop place where you can go in and meet your colleagues, meet your peers, and stay engaged with us beyond the events that we run, which are wonderful, and the webinars that we run, which can be a lot of fun. So a new one-stop one-stop place for our customer community to gather so that we can continue our dialogue with you, our partnership with you, and to continue to drive new innovation. So with that, I'd like to thank you so much for joining today's webinar. And I'd like to thank you so much for joining us on our journey here. We do believe that there is a dawn of a new age where we need a new digital architecture that you can build on for the next 10 years to continue to deal with more content, more data, more risk, and more applications. We do believe this is the dawn of the age of the composable enterprise, and we do believe that this is the dawn of the age of Acquia. So again, thank you all for attending.